I was thinking about what I would do if I were interviewing you, how I would get you excited, how I would steer you, manipulate you. See, that's what you're doing to me. You're manipulating me. There's something idiotic about our sitting here and pretending to talk to one another when there's a camera right there, when there's another one there and there's another one there. And we're pretending to have a sort of an intimate conversation between Ronald and Connie. And that's an act. That's an act. That's the Connie Chung show. On this, I haven't been here. I haven't done that. I have been denied that experience. I've denied myself that experience. And so I tried to go everywhere at once and do everything at once. And now time is much slower for me. It's very slow.
Do you mind being 65?
Not at all. I'm happier now than I ever was in my life.
Why are you happy?
Don't know. Those are the mystery questions that one can never answer. If I knew the answer to that, then I'd be the wisest man on earth, wouldn't I? Why did I wind up being an actor rather than a scientist who was, I don't know, studying entomology or be an animal trainer? Why did I make that choice?
Do you know why?
No, I don't, because it wasn't financial. Because it was financial, I could have made a lot of money. Maybe $200 million if I'd saved it. But I had no interest in that.
You had no interest in acting in a movie after movie after movie over the years?
No, that's a waste of life. It's a waste of time. I don't find it stimulating or interesting. It's not a consuming passion. Do you want to be in a movie?
No.
Why not?
I don't know how to do what you do.
Listen, everybody in this life is an actor. Nobody goes around. You wake up in the morning and you say, "Hi, how are you?" You son of a bitch. And people don't say what they want. How many men and women find other men and women attractive and pretend to be casual and just buff their nails and be sort of bored with the whole thing and are really impassioned by that? How many times have you seen a woman wearing a really ugly dress and say, "Oh, I'm so glad you could come, Meg. Sit down, please. God, you've got an ugly dress on. Where did you get that dress? It's really repulsive." How many times have you done that? Never. You've just said, "Hi, Meg, how are you? Come and sit down. Wonderful to see you." That's acting.
I understand that. But what I mean is that when you have a special talent to become a character.
No, nobody becomes that. I don't believe that anybody is. First of all, you can't act. It was a dull day, and everybody was drinking, and I really got ripped, completely snockered, and so I mooned the audience. It was all Mr. Buffalino's family, and I didn't know that at the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it, naturally. I didn't mean it as an insult. I meant it as a joke, but I was so drunk I couldn't hit the floor with my... What the hell's his name? W.C. Fields, pulling somebody's tooth in the dentist chair. But Charlie Chaplin, who do you think is funny? If you have to laugh, you think, "I can't stand it anymore today. I have to get a laugh."
Right.
What video do you buy?
Well, you know what? I like David Letterman. Do you ever watch David Letterman?
Yeah, I do. Hi, Dave. I've been an admirer of his for some time.
Dave doesn't do that.
No, but I do.
Al Pacino, they all considered you to be such a great teacher.
How do you know that?
Read that. Heard
You
about it.
read it?
Heard about it.
Heard about it? You shouldn't ever believe what you hear, and you shouldn't ever believe what you read.
You don't
No.
believe that they really thought that you
I
were
have no
teaching them
knowledge
something?
of what they believe or what they don't believe. Jimmy Caan, I can tell you what I believe. He's one of the funniest guys I ever met.
Don't you realize that you're thought of as the greatest actor ever?
Tim's the greatest actor ever. He pretends he loves me. He wants something to eat. Get out of here.
No, it's true.
What's the difference? See, that's a part of the sickness in America, that you have to think in terms of who wins, who loses, who's good, who's bad, who's best, who's worst. We always think in those terms, in the extreme terms. I don't like to think that way. Everybody has their own value in a different way, and I don't like to think who was like that the script has weaknesses. I said I'd like to take a shot at it because I've written and rewritten many movies that I've been in. I have to have something to do because I've been off the screen for, I don't know, 9 years or so. And if you're going to enter the arena of motion pictures, you have to come on with your straw hat, your checkered suit, and a malacca cane, and it's, hey folks, it's show talking about. We're in here to make money. We're not here to make wonderful pictures about social and controversial issues. Well, we better do that now because we live at a time when if we don't address those controversial and social issues, then we're all going to go down the tube. And the cockroach is going to be the evolutionary hero of this particular millennia.
Another part of Brando's beef with MGM is that he agreed to contribute all his money from the movie to an anti-apartheid organization, on the understanding that the studio would make a similar significant contribution. It's a promise that Brando says the studio failed to keep. May I ask you what your salary was for Dry White Season and why you contributed it in its entirety?
Well, I wanted to be a part of that. I think that if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. And it's hard to tell because my salary is up front is $3,300,000, which is what I got up front. But then I have 11.3% of the gross. So I have made in pictures with that deal as much as $14 million for 12 days' work. A rather silly movie. But if this picture, and as many pictures are doing today, making $100 million, I probably could stand to make maybe $10 million.
Can't you see how some people might see this as, well, you're just upset because part of your character was cut from the movie? And
No, because my record of being in films, I've made some 35 films, and I've never objected to being cut out of a picture. I've never objected to having my scenes sliced or put together in a crazy way. Even the picture I made myself, some cowboy movie, was, to my mind, badly cut, and they changed the picture.
So why are you upset for this? Why are you upset
Because of the issue. Because this is life and death. This is real life. We're talking about human relations. We're talking about human rights. We're addressing ourselves to racial issues, and that's why I care. Because it's not money, for Christ's sake. It's not...
self-aggrandizement?
It's not self-aggrandizement. Well, what do I care? I've made all the money I need to make. I've won a couple of Academy Awards. If I was cared about that, I've been nominated I don't know how many times, and I'm going to have a position of respect and standing in my craft as an actor in this country, and so what is it gonna? I don't need to gild a lily. I don't give a damn about that. I made some real dogs, and I did it just for the money. And but this I don't care about. I don't care about that.
I hear you complaining about this particular movie. Why don't you make your own movies Because then you can do it exactly the way you want to do it.
You are making me really angry now, because I want to tell you in simple chapter and verse that I have tried to get on before the American public, before the world, a movie about the American Indians and the manner in which we committed as a country genocide upon those people, and I have been told to go take a flying you-know-what at a rolling donut.
Is that true?
That's absolutely true. For 10 years I've tried so many scripts. I have gone with so many networks and to so many movie studios with this tale. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear that America followed a policy of genocide. General Grant, one of our great heroes in America, called for the destruction, the annihilation of these people.
Don't you realize, I mean, you must realize that any producer or director is dying to work with Marlon Brando.
Don't speak to me as Marlon Brando, as though I were some person hiding under a fire truck down the road. It always troubles. I hate it. See, they have a tremendous amount. If you don't take your own money out of your pocket, slam it on the table, and say, all right, the movie's going to be about a guy who eats a fishbowl, and that's what the movie's going to be about, then you can make that movie. But you've got to get somebody to put up $20 million, or whatever the budget is. Some budgets are $40 million. And
so what are you telling me? You do not have $20 or $40 million to put on the table and say, I want to make this movie?
No, I don't. I don't.
If you had worked over the last 9 years, maybe you would have?
No, unquestionably. I'd like to do, I never really knew. But I have more satisfaction at writing and doing other things, focusing on other things.
Such as?
I'm interested in everything. I don't think there's anything I'm not interested in. But I've spent hours and hours watching ants go up and down my sink, picking up the crumbs and finding out where they come from. They come in the cold weather. And
that's actually what you've been doing for 9 years? Come on.
No, I've been doing a lot of things. I've got 9 children, don't forget. And that takes quite a bit of doing.
You just had a new little baby.
Huh?
You just had a new baby?
Yeah. I have a little girl.
Tell me about her.
No. I think it's, if there's anything that is perhaps unsettling to the stomach, it's to watch actors on television talk about their personal lives, and you spend an hour with the first person singular, and you're exhausted. You stagger to the doorway and fall down in the hallway seeking some kind of relief.
You said that in the last 9 years you've been searching for what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Have you decided?
Have you?
Did you ever want to start a national theater or something like that?
There is no, we have no basis for culture in this country. There is no culture in this country.
Why do you say that?
Well, there's almost no culture any place in the world. Who are the present great artists, painters, thinkers, philosophers? Where are they? Do you realize that in Greece for 150 years we had Sophocles, Plato, why go down the list?
But I mean, couldn't you bring it to the American stage?
That's an enormous presumption. I mean, if people throw the word artist around as though it were a football, there are no artists. There are only people like you and me who make money. And
I didn't accuse you of being an artist. I just asked you if you could bring Shakespeare to the stage for us.
Why has there never been a national theater in this country? The closest we had to the National Theater was Orson Welles and John Houseman and the group theater. And they all failed miserably.
Has it ever occurred to you that that you really do have the respect and power and you could bring it to the American scene?
No, it had never occurred to me.
Why did you not come back to the Broadway stage after Streetcar?
Let me ask you why you've crossed your left leg over your right rather than your right leg over your left. Do you know why?
Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Why did you reach out and get that fly that was bothering me? Why have you done that twice instead of 5 times? You don't know. I don't know either. Same answer.
I have an answer.
Go ahead.
That you didn't like the repetition night after night after night, and you were getting bored with it, and that you wanted to sort of work around it.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's that I hated it. It was the worst. It was the worst experience I ever had in my life. I almost went out of my mind.
So you don't like the stage?
No. No. It's much tougher than the movies because you have to do it every night. You have to find that emotion. You have to upset yourself. And, in a motion picture, you come in and you save it for the close-up, crank up for that, and then that fly. And so it's much shorter duration. The work is much shorter. I mean, how much more are you going to invade me? I mean, you're like the visiting piranha. Oh, here comes
I just have a few more questions.
Fire one.
Okay. Oh. You've actually lost some weight recently, right?
Yeah. I have to lose about 50 pounds.
How do you lose weight when you try to lose
I dance.
weight? You dance?
Dance.
Oh, come on.
I was a dancer. I studied to be a dancer at Catherine Dunham's wonderful dance school. And I was a drummer. So I played drums. And I danced, put on my Afro-Cuban music. And
No, really, how do you lose weight when you have to lose weight?
you just reach over and turn it off. And stay out of bed, don't sit down, and keep active, and eat fish and vegetables. Do a little bit every day, and then week after week, and the first thing you know, you're dead.
Do you like yourself heavy?
I don't care. I been heavy, I've been thin, and I'll be thin again, because it's too much problem fighting I'm turning into a couch, what do they call them?
Couch potato.
A couch potato, yeah. But it doesn't make that much of a difference whether you're fat or thin in life. It's just that if you're a good person, Brenda, the real Cummy Chung, I'll tell you.
Are you going to do any more pictures, do you think?
Oh, God. She won't quit. Am I going to do any more pictures? Tim, are we doing any more pictures? How about it? You got any scripts? I don't know. Who the hell knows? How can you know in this world? There's a hole in the atmosphere that is bringing down...
No, but good heavens, you can control your life.
I can't change the hole in the atmosphere,
No,
dear.
but you can control your life, and
No, you can't.
You decide.
That's the biggest joke that you've made today. Nobody controls their life.
You can decide what you're going to do. You decide whether you're going to work or whether you're not going to work?
This is an interesting conversation if you want to talk about free will, because that's a fascinating subject. They did this extraordinary research on twins who were separated from birth. They found they never saw each other. From the time they were born, they were separated and did not know the existence of the other person. And there were astounding similarities. They had the same kind of dog, the same color car, the same... What? Wait a minute, let's see. All right, turn it. Okay.
Okay. Some people feel as if you've cheated them out of the genius of your work over the years, because you did a few movies, then you stopped.
That's like putting fried eggs in your armpit.
You made some great movies in the very beginning.
I didn't make any great movies. There's no such thing as a great movie. You know what's great? A Rembrandt painting, a Mozart chamber music. It's those are great.
Why denigrate Streetcar Named Desire and On the Waterfront? You're denigrating them. They were terrific. You acted in them beautifully. Don't you think?
In the kingdom of the blind, the man with one eye is the king.
Do you think you owe anything to... Nah, you don't. Right?
Yeah. I like that face.
Nah. No. You know what I was getting at? Owing your public anything.
That you're going to be interviewing some over-the-hill movie star.
That's what you think you are?
Well, I don't know. I'm not playing romantic leads anymore.
You could.
Could I, honey?
We have something very special next week, but we can't talk about it yet. So be sure to join us then. Thank you for being with us tonight, and see you next Saturday.
Life is a mystery, and it's an unsolvable one. And you just simply live it through. And as you draw your last breath, you say, what was that all about? Who knows? I've never gotten up with a chair still attached to my behind. I'm going to wear this for a month and a half. I have to go to the doctor and have it severed.
How is your health?
Fine. I can whip my weight in wardrobe women.
You what?
I can whip my weight in wardrobe women.
You can whip your weight in wardrobe women?
Yeah.
How's your cholesterol?
Cholesterol is fine. Was up and lost 100 points. The doctor said he never saw anything like it.
Really?
Yeah, that's one thing we never really discussed. I meant to get to that, but I slipped my mind.
How did you make your cholesterol?
Huh? Want to say something else? Yeah.